What's going on, guys? MakerMods here, back at it again with another new video. Today we're taking a look at some different keycap profiles to see which one provides the most THOCC goodness. I got the idea for this video after Cannonkeys sent me their new CXA profile to try out. I've been using them for about a week now, and I'm loving the sound and overall experience of these keycaps, but I found myself wondering how they compare to some other well-known THOCC keycaps. Let's get started. First, let's take a look at the board we're going to be using for these tests. The Keychron Q1. It's an exploded 75% layout, and it has been crowned by many as the best budget board, and I was really pleasantly surprised at the quality of the board. I removed the stock case foam and I did the Dynamod on my Q1. I also swapped the Gatoron Phantom switches for some well-worn Novelkeys creams. Here are the different keycap sets we're comparing today. The Cannonkeys CXA, Melgeek MDA, Drop MT3, and MaxKeys SA. Let's talk about the specs. First up is Cannonkeys CXA. It's a spherical profile and a double shot PBT and ABS blends. It's one of the shortest profiles we're looking at, with a row height similar to Cherry profile. Here's a comparison pic to Cherry using the escape key. As you can see, the height is similar, but the CXA profile is spherical, which gives it a kind of a vintage aesthetic, and it's really comfortable to type on. Here you're looking at CXA black on white. They also have white on black. It's $79.99 per set. Here is a quick typing test. Woohoo! Next we have Melgeek MDA. This profile is a lower profile, but is compared most often as a shorter SA. It's a flat profile with scooped keys. Here it is compared to Cherry profile using the escape once again. The set I'm testing is called Melgeek Plastic, and it is die-subbed PBT. Here's the typing test. Next on the list is Drop MT3. Designed by Mito with a lot of community feedback, it's a tall spherical profile. I consider it Drop's profile because, as Mito says in this fascinating article on the origin of the MT3 profile, as soon as you put money on the table, you have to sell your soul to the devil. Drop funded the custom molds for MT3, so they own MT3. On a side note, it's pretty crazy that a single keycap mold costs anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, and you need a separate mold for each individual keycap. If you're interested in checking out the article, I've linked it in the description. They do a really good job of explaining the limitations of die sub PBT, and it's worth checking out for that alone, even if you aren't interested in the profile itself. Despite how it looks, MT3 is not just an SA knockoff. Each row was custom designed from the ground up to emulate the old school terminal keyboard aesthetic. Interestingly, it was optimized for keyboards with a 5 to 7 degree slant, which allows row 3 to be parallel with the keyboard bottom for the best typing experience. And if you see here, row 3 is almost parallel on the Q1. It is a tall profile compared to Cherry, as you can see from this comparison photo that I will one day put up. The set I picked up is Extended 2048 from Drop. Here is the typing test. Last but not least, we have the granddaddy of THOCC, the SA profile by Signature Plastics. According to this Authority article, SA was first designed as a flat spherical profile, but was later retooled to the towering leviathan that makes loose top switches wobble in fear. The sculpt on SA can only be described as gargantuan compared to the vertically challenged Cherry profile. SA is pretty much the undisputed king of THOCC. The set I have here is Max Key's Ashen Round 1, the one and only SA profile set I ever bought before realizing that SA looks way better than it feels, at least to my fingers. These keycaps are double shot ABS. Here's a photo of David vs. Goliath. Here's the typing test. Now here's a quick comparison photo of all the different sets, and let's take another listen to each profile before I go into some final thoughts. On a side note, Some notable profiles that I couldn't include in this video are Melgeek MG and JTK HSA, which is a new profile that was teased last year, but apparently have met with some manufacturing difficulties, and as far as I know and could find, they're not sold anywhere yet. So going to my thoughts on the different profiles, I really was blown away by how good the Cannonkeys CXA profile sounds. Not to mention, I hit my personal best on monkey type by 4 words per minute in a 30-second test. And that really says something because I exclusively type on GMK, and the fact that the CXA led to the same, actually faster typing speed really shows that it is similar to Cherry, but I argue more ergonomic and more comfortable to type on. Another thing to note is this really unique spacebar, which has like a strange divot in the middle, which emulates that flipped spacebar kind of feel without the travesty that is a flipped spacebar. It also comes with ortho compatibility right out of the box, which is another thing that I really appreciate. Now, talking about the other profiles, we all know that SA is going to sound good, but for me, I really just could not get used to typing on it. And like I mentioned before, I think it's a profile that you really need to spend a lot of time with to get comfortable with and good at. That was my slowest typing speed by far at roughly 83 words per minute. I don't think it's that comfortable, and so I personally cannot find myself using an SA profile keycap set. MT3 on the other hand was a little more comfortable, maybe because of the slant of the board. It seemed like it was a little more ergonomic. The height didn't seem to affect my typing as much as SA did. Another thing that you'll notice on some of the higher profiles is when I was hitting the backspace and enter the right side mods, I was getting a lot of wobble, which is something that you really need to consider that you don't need to really worry about with the lower profile keycap sets. Talking about MDA, I think it was my least favorite of the 4. And not only because CXA seems to do everything that MDA does but better, but there are some serious quality control issues with the keycaps that I have personally. The X key was not molded properly, and so it actually fell off several times. So I'll make sure to include links in the description below for all of these different keycap sets, or at least a couple different options for each. That's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this video. Hope you have a great new year and a great start to 2022. I love you all. I'm MakerMods, and I'll catch you in the next video.